All right, welcome back YouTubers, scrappers, refiners. Today we're going to go over using a copper cell to recover the silver that's on these braised joints, okay? So Silfloss is a brazing rod we use in the air conditioning industry for brazing pipe. You can braise brass. We're not going to run brass through this cell today. We're going to run this copper pipe that has the Silfloss on it. So let's go over it. Silfloss is 80% copper, 15% silver, and 5% phosphorus. So when you separate number one, well, you take number two and you cut this off to make number one. I keep it and I run it through a copper cell to recover the silver as slimes. So today we're going to take these copper fittings that I've been saving for God knows how long, and then we're going to flatten them out and we are going to put them in this anode basket. Wife doesn't know about that, but we're not going to say anything. And use this Dacron bag filter to filter out the slime. So bear with me for just a second while I set the camera up. All right, so we're going to get a weight on what we're putting in today to start the cell off. So we can just keep track of what our input is and what all right, 833 grams. We're going to label that input 833. And my cathode here is 91 grams. So what we're going to do is this is pretty easy. I'm going to take my gloves off to do this. We're going to use our Dacron filter. So I purchased this from Amazon. It's 2 for 11 bucks. Works pretty well, does not dissolve in the solution. So what we're going to do is, like I said, we'll just add this in here. And I'll mix that up. And so we're going to, this is the part I'll need to put gloves on. Safety first, right? All right, so I didn't plan this out. I should have done it prior to it, but I wanted to just show you how easy it is to build. This was from IKEA, came out of the wife's. It's perfect. All right, and I will flatten this stuff out later after we run it. This is some silver plated copper that came from some bus bars. It came actually for some breakers, so we'll run that in a few minutes. However, I am going to hook everything up and we're going to start the cell up, so just give me a second. We're going to go over some of the copper cell operation, okay? So right here is my cathode, and that's my anode, and as you can see, that's the positive and that's the negative. So at the anode, the copper is oxidized into copper 2 ions, so that's going to be like the copper deposits here because it deposits on the cathode because the positive ions, the copper 2 ions, are reduced and they deposit here. All right, so what we have is the copper is going to dissolve from the anode basket and it's going to plate onto the cathode here, okay? And it's going to leave the slimes behind in this basket right here, which we will recover later. So the copper will go from here to here And, you know, these copper cells are often used in stuff like electroplating and the purification of copper, but we're going to use the mechanisms of the copper cell to recover the copper here and leave the slimes in the bag. So that is my intent, that's how we're going to recover these air conditioned fittings, which were number 2 copper, and we cut the braised joints off so we can sell it as number 1 at a better price, and we're going to recover the silver. So stay tuned as we update this weekly, okay?